Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making mussels and Thai ginger sauce. So we need to make a paste for this, so let's start with that. So to the pitcher of my Vitamix, I've added 3 teaspoons of fish sauce, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, half of a teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of dark soy sauce, 6 dry kaffir lime leaves, which you can find in your Asian aisle. Just crumble those up and add them as well. 2 bird-eye chilies. You can substitute this with serrano if you can't find bird-eye chilies. We're just going to cut these in half, remove the stem, and pop those into our pitcher as well. Now I have a 2-inch piece of ginger that I'm just squaring up to make it easier to work with. And I found the easiest way to peel ginger is with a spoon. If you just scrape it, that skin should come right off. You could also do this in a food processor if you prefer. So just chop up the ginger and throw that into the pitcher. And we have 4 cloves of garlic that we're going to smash, remove the skin, give it a nice rough choppity chop too, and we're going to add that to our paste ingredients as well. Next up, I'm zesting 1 lime straight into our pitcher. Give this a little roll, and we're going to squeeze that lime and add all of the juice into our paste ingredients as well. Just give that a really good squeeze and extract as much of that lime juice out as possible. Last but not least, I have 2 stalks of lemongrass, and if you've worked with lemongrass before, you know it's really fibrous and woody. So cut through as much as possible, bend it down, flip it over, and remove that really tough top part. Clean up the bottoms as well. And then discard any of that rough part that's coming off of your stalk, because it's going to be a little too fibrous for us to work with. Now using the back of the knife, start bashing your lemongrass. We're going to tenderize this a little bit so our blender or food processor doesn't have to work as hard to break this down. Once we have it nicely smashed up, we're going to chop this into smaller pieces, because again, it is really fibrous. So once we have that all nicely chopped up, we're going to add that to our blender or food processor. And we're going to start pureeing this on medium speed. While that's running, we're going to add a tablespoon of water just to get that moving a little faster. Now over medium heat in a large Dutch oven, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. You can use neutral oil as well. I just wanted to reinforce that coconut flavor that's so inherent in Thai cooking. So once that's all nicely melted down, we're going to add in all of our beautiful paste. And as soon as that hits that hot pan, you're going to smell all of those ingredients: the garlic, the ginger, the lemongrass, the lime, the fish sauce. We're going to stir fry this for 20 seconds, and it's going to turn this gorgeous golden yellow color thanks to the turmeric. Now we're going to add in 1 13.5 ounce can of unsweetened coconut milk. Stir this around and just let that heat up for about a minute. So at this point, you can give it a little taste and 1/2 teaspoon of salt if you feel like it needs it. The mussels are going to add their own salinity as they release their liquid, so just season lightly at this point. Now I have 2 pounds of mussels that I've cleaned and bearded and discarded any of the ones that wouldn't shut if I touched them, because those are most likely dead and not really safe to eat. So we're just going to add all of our mussels right into our nice hot broth. And this is a super fast cook time. We're going to cover this and let this cook for 5 minutes. That's it. That's all the time that you're going to need over a hot stove on a warm summer night. Just go in and give your pan a little shake every now and again, just to encourage those mussels to open. So for our garnishes, I have 2 stems of scallion that I'm just chopping up into a nice little disc. I also have a really large bunch of cilantro, taking off those long stems, rolling this up to make it a little bit easier to chop, and then just chopping it as roughly or as finely as you prefer. And last but not least, I have a large bunch of basil. I wish I had Thai basil, but my Thai basil plant, it hasn't produced that many leaves yet, so I've just gone with domestic basil here. So now it's been 5 minutes. take off your lid and enjoy that lemongrass ginger garlic steam bath. All of the mussels have opened. If some haven't, you have to discard those. So now we're just going to sprinkle on our basil, reserving a little bit for presentation, adding in cilantro, and our little scallions. Now we want to give this a little stir because we want those herbs to get a little kissed by the heat and start to kind of wilt and add in their own flavor into this dish. Now to plate, I have my favorite bowl that we're just spooning in as many mussels as your heart desires. The color of this broth is this sunny, beautiful, golden, bright, appetizing color. Don't forget to spoon in a lot of that broth because you're going to want that to be able to dip in crusty bread, or if you want to serve this over noodles, you could do that, or over rice. I just like this on its own. So we're taking that reserved garnish and just for presentation, sprinkling a little bit more over our final bowl. And I have a baguette here that I sliced, coated with a little olive oil and grilled in a grill pan on the stove. Now let's give this a taste. The mussels are tender and plump and succulent. You get all of the flavor of that lemongrass and lime and that predominant flavor of ginger in this golden, beautiful, sunshiny sauce. You're definitely going to want bread. You want to scoop up as much of that flavorful, delicious broth as possible. You don't want anything to go to waste. This is the perfect summer night dinner. It took us very little time, and it is absolutely delicious. Pardon me as I scoot this closer so I can consume the rest of this really tasty, wonderful, delightful meal. But there it is, mussels and Thai ginger broth. I really hope you guys try to make this. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you loved it, subscribe and hit that notification bell because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, happy cooking. Sniffer approved. Go wash your hands now.